When are you writing the exams, the quiz? Quiz is next weekend.
Next
So
week
please,
is
let's see.
revision.
On the 11th.
So the
Let's
following
see.
one.
So the date will be what? 11th. No, when are you writing the quiz and the exams? I've not set my question. That's why I'm asking you.
So we'll do
Please
the
don't
quiz.
be.
We start next week.
The
Next
quiz
2
is
weeks.
on the 11th of April.
And the exams the following week.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Okay.
No,
So
the exam is
all the
25th and
slides.
26th.
You said what?
Exams is 25th and 26th April.
Okay, good. So the slides that I've given to you, if I finish, remind me those if I've not given you all, because you need to go through all my slides so that you can score your A sample. Okay, that is just by the way, I think we'll move on to French invasion of Algeria. But we'll look at Egypt first before we move on to Algeria. Let me share my screen. Okay. Why? Okay. Hello, do you see the screen that I've shared, please?
No, please.
Hello.
No, please. No, please.
No, please.
No, please.
You don't see the screen.
Yes,
No,
sir, we can
please.
see.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Let me see.
I can now see.
Do you see the screen now?
Yes,
Yes,
sir,
Yes,
we can
sir.
see it
Yes,
now.
Please.
sir.
yes.
Yes, please. We
Okay.
can see.
Okay, that's good. So once again, good morning to you all and welcome to today's class. Today we shall look at the last two topics. Then we are done with this course, and that is the French invasion of Egypt and the French invasion of Algeria. And so you have heard a lot about Egypt. This is okay. Those of you who did HIS205D, we taught you Egypt, the civilization of Egypt, in other words, Egyptology. And then we said that Egypt is the cradle or the birthplace of civilization. And how did you have an insight into the Egyptian civilization or Egyptology? Through the French invasion of Egypt. And the invasion itself has been described by some scholars as an expedition. In other words, a war of discovery. So some scholars are of the view that it was not just a mere invasion, but rather a war of discovery. And it was through that war that we saw the contribution of Egypt to knowledge. In other words, the legacies that Egyptians bequeathed to knowledge. And it was through that invasion. So if you look at the people the experts that Napoleon Bonaparte, the experts that Napoleon Bonaparte took to Egypt for the invasion, you would then appreciate and the things that he discovered. So made up of geologists and historians, all of them. We will look at it, physicists, and so on and so forth. Okay, so I think we'll look at that. Yeah, so let's look at background to the invasion. It's important that first of all, look at the background to the invasion. Before the French invasion of Egypt, the country was under the Ottoman Turks. The Turks were those who were ruling Egypt before the French under Napoleon Bonaparte invaded Egypt. Now, the Ottoman Turks in 1517, after Sultan Selim had defeated the Mamelukes, and Mamelukes, they were the ruling dynasty in Egypt at this time that the invasion took place, the Mamelukes, at the Battle of Cairo. Now, the Mamelukes were a caste of ex-slaves. Take note of this, Mamelukes. There are two spellings, but you can go by what I have here, Mamelukes. Now, as I said, they were a caste of ex-slaves of various races who established a dynasty in Egypt in 1249. So their dynasty started in 1249, and they ruled Egypt. They ruled Egypt. They were recruited from southern Russia, southern part of Russia, now they were South Russia, and Turkey to a military expedition in North Africa. That's how come they found themselves in Egypt. The Mamluks wielded effective power through the Ottoman Sultan. Though the Ottoman Sultan was posting viceroys to Egypt as legitimate rulers. Okay, now the Ottoman administration declined in the 18th century. So in the 18th century, the Ottoman administration declined. There was ineffective rule of the Pasha in Egypt. So the Ottoman central government in Istanbul was involved in a war with Russia and Austria. And so the consequence was not paratable, but it was really something that did affect them so much. Now the Mamluks, the Mamluk base, ruled their respective areas. Those who were in charge of the areas were known as base. Take note, base. They were at odds with each other out of selfish interest. Because out of selfish interest, they were infighting among themselves. Okay. Now they neglected the welfare of their people. Because of that, they did not take the welfare of their people seriously, and they oppressed the people. Though the people felt that they were being oppressed under their own people. And so it was in such situation that the French would now make strides to invade Egypt. So let's look at reasons for French invasion of Egypt. Why? What were the reasons that Napoleon adduced for invading or for the invasion of Egypt? So one, Napoleon, I think we have, by this time, the French Revolution had already taken place. And so, you know, the reasons why they fought for the French Revolution, they felt that the people were oppressed. And so they fought on grounds of equality, liberty, and brotherhood, so that human beings, we are all equal. They should be that kind of liberation, liberty, that people should not be under servitude. Okay, so people should not be under servitude. So that was the essence of the French Revolution of 1789. And so they overthrew absolutism in France. And what I mean by absolutism is that it's ancient regime. And let me also break that one down again. Ancient regime, that is what that means here. The kings felt that chieftains was an institution from heaven, in other words, from God. And so they were answerable to God and not the people that they ruled, or they ruled. I'm going to use the past tense. They ruled. So, and that was what became known as the divine right of kings, because the kings felt that they were answerable to God and not the people. And so they ruled their people harshly. They did not take their welfare into consideration, and so forth. Okay. So now the people felt that they were being oppressed under the Mamluks, their own people who were ruling them. So Napoleon wanted the Egyptians to enjoy the ideals of liberty, equality, and fraternity. Yeah, that at least freedom is good, Imagine you see that if you under somebody and the person not treating you well, you don't feel happy. So if you have your own freedom, liberty, so you have your own liberty, equality, and fraternity is good. Now that's what Napoleon felt. Now Napoleon wanted to send a team of scholars again. Another reason was that so if I ask you in the essay, explain 4 reasons why Napoleon invaded Egypt, or explain 4 reasons for the French expedition of Egypt, I think going to be very simple for you. Now here I'm talking about another reason that was that motivated the invasion, and that was that Napoleon wanted to send a team of scholars and experts to study the ancient monuments of Egypt, and this gave birth to what became known as Egyptology. So Napoleon again believed that France could threaten the British possessions in India. Don't forget that France and Britain had been traditional enemies, and in their history they had even, there was a time that they fought for a period of 100 years, so called 100 years war between France and Britain. And so they were traditional enemies, and so Napoleon from France, or believed that France could threaten the British possessions in India from Egypt should they get hold of Egypt. And that was also one of the reasons that motivated the invasion. Now, the expedition was therefore a major venture in the struggle against the British Empire. And this epitomized itself in Napoleon's statement, "It shall expel the English from their possessions in the East." So that was one of the motivating factors. Now, Napoleon left with an army of 35,000 men at 4 ports in Italy, a fleet of 9 ships of the line, and 167 smaller warships and transports. So Napoleon maintained strict secrecy. In fact, the whole expedition was shrouded in secrecy that the people were not even aware, about the enemy's destination. They didn't even know where they were going to, although hence secreted that the enemy was to invade England. So people were actually speculating where they were going, where are they going? But they were actually going to Egypt and not England. Napoleon invited Claude Berthelot, a brilliant chemist, recruited to recruit corps of civilian scholars. Now look, he went to the civilian scholars and students that will be attached to the army. So French forces set sail from France on May 1798 with scholars, scientists, and other experts. So he went with scholars, not only troops or the army, no, but scholars as well, scientists and other experts whose researches were to lay the foundation of Egypt, the foundations of Egyptology. Napoleon crushed the Mamluks at the Battle of Pyramus. So the crucial Battle of Pyramus, Napoleon was able to crush the Mamluks. The French landed in July 1798 and took Alexandria. Murad Bey was a Mamluk. He led Egyptian forces to repel the attack. Murad Bey was defeated by the Egyptian forces, defeated by the invaders, and retreated toward the capital. Ibrahim Bey waited in Cairo to see the outcome of the encounter between Murad Bey and the French forces. So Murad Bey was again defeated on July 22nd at the Battle of Pyramus, and he fled to Upper Egypt. Ibrahim Bey and the Ottoman viceroy escaped to the east of the Delta. Now Napoleon entered Cairo. Upon becoming successful, he entered Cairo on 25th July, but this, notwithstanding, he had still not established mastery over Egypt. Both Ibrahim and Murad Bey refused to negotiate with him. Ibrahim Bey was defeated at Saldia on 11th August 1798. On 11th August 1798, and he fled to Syria, and Ahmed al-Jaza gave him asylum. So that's why he sought asylum. The French forces crossed the Nile and occupied Cairo in 1798. And he occupied Cairo in 1798. Now, Napoleon exhibited political sympathy towards Islam and the Urama. There, he has sympathy towards Islam and the Urama. The ones administrative councils made up of representatives of the French military administration and an elite group of Egyptian Ulama. So the Diwan was responsible for civil government in Egypt, in Cairo, in Egypt, although its power was not final but subject to approval by the French military power. So the Diwan became the channel of communication for the French military elites and the Egyptians. So the chief of the Diwans was the one who headed the assembly in Cairo. Napoleon learned of the deteriorating political situation in France from British newspapers. Okay. And so the directory, now whilst there, he heard that things had gone back bad in France itself from the newspapers. So he decided to go back. So the directory's credibility had ebbed to an all-time low. So the second coalition formed by Austria, Britain, and Russia to oppose France was defeating the French army on the run. So the Austrians had recovered Napoleon's earlier conquest in Italy. So Napoleon returned to France and engineered the coup that overthrew the directory. He became the first consul of France. Now Kleber was soon assassinated by a religious student and a successor, General Jacques Meno. He continued a futile battle against both Egyptian insurgents and invading Turkish and the British forces. So the French occupation of Egypt was seen in Britain as a threat to the British possessions in Asia. And therefore, the British sent a naval force to stop the French. So Admiral Nelson eventually led the British Navy to destroy the French Navy in the Mediterranean at Abouke Bay. Please take note of this, Abouke Bay, on 1st August 1799. So take note of this, the place and the date. Abouke Bay on 1st August 1779. Okay.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, hello. Hello. Now we shall proceed. We shall proceed to look at the impact or the effects of the invasion. Please, can you hear us?
Sir, please, I want to ask a question.
Can they take notes? If you can, we'll take note of the question so that once you are done, then you ask all questions. I think that will be better. So if you take note of the question, and when we are done, then you ask the question. Yeah, let's look at the effects of or impact of the invasion. So Napoleon gave the scholars and the artists the opportunity to inspect, and so he said he went with scholars, he went with experts. And so, yeah, as you have already pointed out to you. Now, those that he went with, he gave them the opportunity to inspect, describe, and record the tombs, temples, and monuments of Thebes, Luxor, and other places. Okay, so hello. After we were meeting, online meeting. Yeah. Yeah. So as I said, the findings. So they were expected to actually inspect, describe, and record things that they would see on tombs, temples, and so many other monuments. Now, their findings of these scholars were published between 1809 and 1823 in the La Description d'Égypte, so which provide Egyptians their first close look at ancient Egyptian civilization. So that is now the discovery. So there, through the search, they discovered the Rosetta Stone, and this was a table whose text engraved in 3 alphabets: Greek, Demotic, and hieroglyphics. Take note of the 3 inscriptions on the Rosetta Stone that was found or that was discovered. So it had Greek, Demotic, and hieroglyphics, and this provided the key to the previously undecipherable hieroglyphics. At first, the hieroglyphics could not be read. So it was the Greek component that made it possible for them to be able to decipher the hieroglyphics. Now it was Jane Francis Campion who unlocked the code that allowed hieroglyphics to be read. Take note. Now the French also built a library to make available to readers the discoveries in Egypt, the things that they found. The French introduced Egyptians to the printing press brought by Napoleon. There was also the establishment of the Diwan, administrative councils in Egypt. So these were some of the impact, in other words, the effects of the French invasion of Egypt. Now let's move on to look at the background to Muhammad Ali of Egypt. The background to Muhammad Ali of Egypt. So the Mamluks on their part hoped to regain power, but they were divided. You see, even though the French had defeated them, they were still trying to gain power back, but they were split, and that affected them. There was a contingent of the Albanian troops, which constituted part of the Ottoman army of occupation, and this was led by Tahir Pasha and assisted by Lieutenant Muhammad Ali. Now, these issues intensify struggles, and the army would throw its weight behind one person at a certain point, and again they will do so to another person, and so on and so forth. I know such situation would actually generate confusion. So there was a contingent of the Albanian troops. Okay, I think I've said it. So Egypt was reduced to a state of anarchy or instability after the first 4 years of the French exit. Now, when the French exited, there were issues. The Mamluks fought themselves. They were even infighting. The Turkish army were split into racial factions. The Kurds fought the Albanians, and the Janissaries also fought both of them. Now, on the 13th May 1805, Sheikh Sharakwa of Azza, in collaboration with Umar Macklin, the head of the religious nobility, deposed the Sultan Viceroy and replaced him with Muhammad Ali as the popular choice. So the Sultan was forced by the demonstrators to withdraw his confirmation and appoint Muhammad Ali as the Pasha of Egypt. Now let's look at Muhammad Ali briefly and what he did. So Muhammad Ali, within the first phase of his regime, made efforts or strides to consolidate his hold on power. He brutally killed the Mamluks and established a strong army. He also weakened the Urama and carried out aggressive reforms by confiscating lands. Now he introduced reforms in taxation. Indeed, as a foreigner, Muhammad Ali saw the need to build an army modeled on the Janissaries. He imported 20,000 black slaves from the Sudan, which he used to build the army. However, only 3,000 survived out of this number. Out of the 20,000, only 3,000 survived the hazardous journey and the climatic change as well. So due to that, he restored to the conscription of the Felahin. And when is it the Felahin? We're talking about the peasants. That's those who tilled the land at the time. Taking note of the Felahin, the peasants. So now, let's look at how he modernized Egypt. How Muhammad Ali modernized Egypt in his modernization of Egypt. So by 1826, Ali imposed state control over the means of production by appointing himself the chief proprietor in the fields of agriculture, commerce, and industry. Ali also expropriated all the lands that could be cultivated. So he maintained all the canals. He made sure that the canals were maintained, improved upon the irrigation system, and introduced the cultivation of long staple cotton, which became the main source of revenue for the Egyptians. He reformed the tax system and abolished the Mamluk system, in which tax farmers collected huge sums of money from the Felehan, that is the peasants, and paid only small percentage of the amount collected the government treasury and retained the rest. So he phased that one out. Now, he succeeded in creating what became known as the New Order. What was the New Order? Even though he ruled in the name of the Ottoman Sultan, it is serious. That's the
Please, can you people hear Doctor? Well, I can't hear you.
It's like his network is not that good. Though.
It's clicking. I thought I'm the
The
only one.
network isn't that. No. I think it's from his end.
nice.
Please, somebody should have left me. But now he's
No, patient.
And the
Please, Doc, your
land
line is breaking. We can't hear anything.
in uh, the
The class rep should call him. The class rep kindly call him because he's just working in bed. So call him to draw his attention.
He's in.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
yeah.
Please. I can't hear anything. No.
My brother, you are not alone. We all can't hear.
Oh, okay.
Of course, we won't do nothing. Anna.
I've prompted him. He's trying to reconnect. So please wait.
Okay.
Please, it seems I have not got all the slides. I don't know whether somebody has. Hello.
Doc ya ntene nka biom koraa o na network na nya adwuma biom.
He's out of the meeting. He's trying to reconnect. So please be patient.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Class rep, call him again. Call him again.
Hello.
Hello.
Please, I still can't hear. Oh,
You still can't hear.
Yes, it's the same.
You still can't hear.
I
oh,
yes, we can hear.
But you can hear. You say you cannot hear. Well, I'm
we
here.
can't hear you.
It's not here.
Sir, it's now clear. At
We
first, we
can now
couldn't hear
hear
you,
you,
sir.
Doc.
Okay. Now we can hear. I didn't even know you was the one talking.
Please, Doc is in, so please keep quiet for him to continue. Thank you.
So tell him that we spend
Oh,
over 20 minutes. We didn't hear anything. Over 20 minutes, we didn't hear anything.
Over 20 minutes, you didn't hear anything.
yes, please.
Yes.
And it didn't draw my attention that I was teaching you and you didn't hear anything.
We asked the class rep to call you and says he has called.
Please, Doc, I called you.
But was it 20 minutes? Somebody saying 20 minutes, I don't get it.
It's not 20
20 minutes there. If you couldn't hear me for 20 minutes, then it's
You
so
got to
much.
new order. New order. That's where you were about to start.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
It is okay.
Please, what is happening? You can't still hear me.
Yes,
better.
please.
We can hear you now.
Please, we can continue.
Now it is better.
Please, we can continue.
Okay, so I was talking about his creation of a new order, and I think so. I've said all these things, but I said so. I'll just go over. So I was saying that he succeeded in creating a new order, and I said that even though he ruled in the name of the Ottoman Sultan, what Muhammad Ali did was that he detached Egypt from Turkey after the destruction of the Mamluk base between 1805 and 1812. So Ali recognized the strategic importance of Syria. He saw that Syria was very important strategically. So he invaded it to protect his eastern flank. He did that. He also reformed the administration and developed agriculture, irrigation, public works, and industry in Egypt. He also ensured massive introduction of European technology in all the activities and functions of Egypt. He set out to impose a new order in Egypt during the first 3 decades, that's the first 30 years of the 19th century. And this became the basic framework for Egypt's drive to modernity. And that was what drove, in other words, the drive, the model became a model or basic framework for Egypt's drive to modernity or towards modernity for the next 100 years. It was intended to ensure that the organization of a modern army and innovation in several areas, such as agriculture, administration, education, and industry. Significant policies changed the pattern of land ownership and agriculture, and it led to increased productivity and prosperity in Egypt. So he reformed education. He saw education as the backbone or the keystone of the people's life and happiness. So to that end, he reformed education to provide the trained and skilled human power needed by the service of the state and the armed forces. He also reformed the administration to secure efficient strict and economic control over the functions of the state and government. He embarked upon an ambitious program of industrialization, produced the first state factories in Egypt. It was Muhammad Ali, who produced the first state factories in Egypt. And this was intended to make his armed forces self-sufficient in materials and supplies. Okay, so that is that about French invasion of Egypt. I will pause here and invite questions. Somebody wanted to ask a question. Now that I'm done with Egypt. I will pause here and invite all the questions that you have. After that, then we'll move on to French and Algerian relations, which we refer to as Franco-Algerian relations up to 1830. That's the last topic left. So before we proceed to look at the last topic, now let me invite your question. So you can now ask questions. You mention your name and you go ahead to ask your question. Thank you.
Sir, please. My name is Alfred.
Okay,
Sir,
Alfred.
yeah, with the question that you gave that explained the French invasion of Egypt. Sir, are we because what we have here is in point. So are we to state the point or you state the point and you explain it?
You have the points.
Like they are all stated in points.
Well, you know that we are at the university and we are not at secondary school, even secondary school. You know, we are at the university. So university, we provide you the skeleton. We don't give you everything. So the modules and other books are there that can give you so much detail for the essays. And yeah, the books that I gave you the course outline. There are some books that can give you, and even I did explain if you observed. Sometimes I was throwing more like can even so. For example, if you say that I said that if you look at the reasons I explained that when I was talking about, for example, to liberate them from the hands of the Mamluks, I was saying that that was even what motivated the French invasion of the French Revolution, where they fought on grounds of liberty, equality and fraternity. So they wanted them to also benefit from this kind of enlightenment in respect to freedom. Why should they be oppressed? So this explanation, and now we don't even copy everything from the lecturer. We don't expect the lecturer so that I'll give everything and everybody's going to give it to me. That Dr. Bachi, this is your lecture slides, take it. It becomes monotonous. Say, don't you have mind on your own? So are you going to copy what I've given to you? Hook, line, sinker, give it to me. That this is it, take it. No, we don't do that. That is why we give it to you. We expect that we have explained, and you also explain. You will be creative and add things to that. The point is there, which I did explain it. So I didn't read exactly what was there, but I explained, even starting the French Revolution, what motivated it, and the French saw that the Egyptians were also in the same in the same oppression, and the cruelty meted out to them by the Mamluks, who were wicked. And so they felt that it was time for them to liberate them. So, for example, one reason why they go. So I just said that to liberate them, but I didn't explain it further. And so I expect that this is first, you don't expect that your lecture will give you everything. And even if provide everything there, I don't expect that all of you come and you chew and pour, what you call regurgitation. You regurgitate for me. It becomes monotonous that, so why? Are you telling me that you cannot be creative, cannot be innovative to give me something new and to reframe what? That is why we say that we call something plagiarism. That we don't expect that you will be involved in plagiarism. That you take whatever the lecturer has given to you, just that, and present to him. No, it doesn't show signs of 21st century. No, we're talking about 21st century skills and what have you. So, Honorable, the points I did explain to you if you only paid attention, and the other way that are supposed to guide you, if you even go to some the course outline, you get some articles, some books, and then you go to look at French invasion, they will give you explain in several ways, and you can make your own notes, add to what I've given to you, and excellent, you'll be making your ace. I hope you're okay.
Sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, Doc, please, my hand is up.
Can they go on with your question, please?
Okay, thank you. We learned from world civilization that the pharaohs were the rulers of Egypt, and that even they were regarded as gods of the land. And today we are learning that these Mamluks were just slaves that were recruited from somewhere Asia, the Turkey and those places to Egypt. So where were the pharaohs when the Mamluks took over the reins of the land?
But when we were going through Egypt, we took you through that there were certain times of stability, there were times of chaos and anarchy, intermediate periods, and finally the Egyptian empire civilization collapsed. So this time we're talking about the Egypt that we were looking at was far. Look at the period that we were looking at. If you look at the period that we took you through, we will understand. So when you just go back and make reference to Egypt and look at the period that we're talking about as the middle, as the old kingdom. Look at the old kingdom and look at the middle kingdom and the new kingdom. So you then realize that it was just old, ancient. So that was ancient Egypt. And we're talking about modern Egypt. And this time we're talking about is the French. We're actually interested in in the French invasion. It was the invasion that made it possible for us to see what happened in the old kingdom, in the new kingdom. So that time, these pharaohs were no more there. It had been disintegrated. And now we see Egypt is no more having pharaohs as rulers. So that one is far. And that is not what we are doing here. We're looking at this period, this phase. So if we look at the invasion itself, I think we took you through so we said that 17 and 8 that we're talking about. It just in the 18th century. So we are dealing about the 18th century, but we're talking about is the BC. Yeah. Are you with me?
Okay, thank you so much. I understand now.
Okay. Please, more questions before we proceed to look at the Franco-Chilean relations. Or I can still go on when I'm done and still have questions with Egypt. I'm ever ready to attend to them. Okay, so can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
So Franco-Algerian relations up to 1830. Everybody should kindly mute. I beg you. It's giving me feedback. So everybody should kindly mute. Mute, please. We want to see the relations between France and Algeria up to 1830. So Franco-Algerian relations. Okay. Anita, can you hear me?
Yes, please, Doc.
Okay, that means the others can hear me. So now we've already gone through the Maghreb. We know what the Maghrebian states. We know that Egypt is a Mashriq, and I think we've done all that at the beginnings. Now the Maghreb first came under Christian Europe. Algeria is one of the states in the Maghreb. So we know that. We said the Maghrebian states, we mentioned Algeria, Tunisia, Libya, and Morocco. That is where the Maghrebian states. Egypt was not in the Maghreb. I think we did that in our previous lessons. Now the Arabs spread the Islamic religion in the Maghreb. That's why when you go there, you see that Islam is a dominant religion in the Maghreb. Now, Islam was to have a profound and long-lasting impact on the states of the Maghreb. So the first Arab military expeditions into the Maghreb between 642 and 669 led to the spread of Islam. Now, I don't want to go into big detail here, but we can see that after the demise of Prophet Muhammad, now Islam would enter into an era of the caliphs, where we had the caliphs, and Abu Bakr becoming the first caliph and spreading and vowing or promising to spread Islam across the entire globe. First of all, started in the Maghreb, and that's the explains why today we have Islam as a dominant religion in the Maghreb. Okay, yeah. So now this resulted in the Islamization and the Arabization of the Maghreb, where we have Islam and its teachings and its doctrines and its principles all over in the Maghreb, and also had the Arabization, where they use the Arabic as the official language of instruction, and everything that had to do with Arabic. Okay, good. Now power alternated from the Fatimids, then the Almoravids, then the Almohads, and the Zaniyas, and the Marabouts. If we say we are going to go into all these details, ladies and gentlemen, time will be too long and we will need another semester more. So we just give you the overview that, yeah, these people once ruled. So we had the Fatimids, the Almoravids, then the Almohads, then the Zayans, and the Marabouts, of course. As for the Marabouts, when we were looking at Morocco, we went through some of the Marabouts and the activities that they did. Now, at about 1510, Spain was establishing its residues in the Maghreb, and then the Muslim privateer brothers of Aruj and Ka'adin. I think I've already made mention of these people who invited the Ottomans. Okay, so yeah. Now, the latter, known to the Europeans as Barbarossa or Red Beard, were operating successfully off Tunisia under the Hafsis. In 1516, Arud moved his base of operation to Algiers. Unfortunately, he was killed in 1518 during his invasion of Tlemcen. Now, Ka'adin succeeded him as military commander of Algiers. The Ottoman Sultan gave him the title Beylerbey, and that is a provincial governor, and a contingent of some 2,000 Janissaries, well-armed Ottoman soldiers. So the Janissaries were well-armed Ottoman soldiers. They were referred to as Janissaries, and there were 2,000 in number. Now, Ka'adin subdued the coastal region between Constantine and Oran with the help of the Janissary forces. So under Ka'adin Regency, or Ka'adin's Regency, this has been apostrophe, Algiers became the center of Ottoman authority in the Maghreb. Except Morocco, all the states in the Maghreb became part of the Ottoman Empire. Now the text occupied the Maghreb with an invitation by the Mule in the area to drive away the Christians who had invaded the coastal towns and cities. So the text saw this encounter, this invitation to come and drive the Christians from there with the Christians as a holy war or jihad. So they saw that, oh, this is a holy war. So yeah, or jihad. In this war, the text won and emerged victors. So the invitation extended to them by Mule to drive in the area to drive away the Christians who had invaded the coastal towns and cities, brought the text there, the Ottoman text. And so they were able to defeat them. Now, after the defeat, one would think that they would exit, they would go back. The text did not leave the regime. They didn't go. They incorporated the areas into the Ottoman Empire. They added it to the Ottoman Empire. That explains how the Maghreb, with the exception of Morocco, that became an Ottoman territory. So it became an Ottoman territory. So let us look at the Ottoman administration in Algeria. So Algeria was administered by a Dey chosen by the Turkish soldiers stationed in Algeria. Now the Dey ruled the territory with a council and was directly and responsible for the government of a large central area of the regency, including Algiers and the place of Mitija. Now the remaining territories were governed by semi-independent Deys appointed by the Dey. Now these Deys did not constitute dynasty in the real sense of the word. They could be dismissed and be executed. Local government was in the hands of the local Arabs and the Berber chiefs. So the text adopted the strategy of divide and rule. What was it? Think about the divide and rule. So this was intended to prevent the local people from rebelling against their rule. However, there were constant coups in Algeria due to the struggle for the position of the Dey. Now the Turks were the most predominant population in Algeria. We're looking at the social structure. So the Turks were the most predominant population in Algeria. The Turks were normally soldiers or invariable town dwellers. A section of the population was called Koluglus. Take note of the Koluglus. I may ask you, Koluglus. They were the descent. Hello, are you with me?
Yes, sir, we are here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Please, we
I
are
know.
here. Yes, sir.
Yes, please. The reason why I'm
Yeah,
asking, I don't want to be that 20 minutes you couldn't hear me. That's what I'm asking.
What is the problem again?
Hello. What is the problem? Or it's only me?
We can't hear
Hello,
him
Doc.
It's
again.
We
not only
can't hear
you.
him.
It's not only you. It's not
When
only
it goes
you.
off,
We
it
can't
affects
hear.
all of us. We all can't hear.
I think he has left again.
He's
It's
still
off.
on it, but the voice is not coming. He's not left. He's still on it.
He's off because the screen is even gone.
The screen is off. So please, let's draw his attention.
Just guess if the course rep will get us agreement, so guess to him. So that he give us area like he did the last block. It will help us. Because the network this time is too disturbing.
Please, maybe he's not aware. Let's draw his attention.
So you're going to,
Maybe he's not aware, so draw his attention.
yeah.
The class rep, as soon as it happens, you should call him because he cannot be spending his energy like that.
The person who even asking of areas, you shouldn't even say it because you're not even done yet. You're going to provoke the man. Kindly, don't even talk about it now.
Well said, my sister. Well said.
Yeah, but please, friends, if you have the slides, you people should forward it in the group. It seems we do not have all.
Yeah. So they shouldn't provoke me. Eh? Hello. You,
Hello.
they shouldn't
So
provoke
Doc,
me.
where you ask questions, that was when the
Hey,
network went out
man,
again.
I'm listening to you. They didn't provoke me. Eh?
Yeah, of course.
But it's not a matter of.
Yeah, we are still in the middle of the course and they're asking
Yeah,
for
well
Eh,
said.
guidance
It's true.
and
They shouldn't
explanations to
provoke you.
concentrate. They know very well that all the time you do. So
so
there's no need for asking.
all
They
your
know
time.
you do it. So.
Okay, let's wrap it up. I think you can now hear me. Yeah. So let me just share again. Yeah, so I think I was saying that apart from the Kolugrus, we also had the Jewish who were there. And then I was talking about that commerce or commercial activities that were actually in the hands of the Jewish merchants. So they dominated commerce in the area. In fact, we are going to actually delineate or to go into details to look at the activities of two Jewish merchants that would actually trigger a war between the French and the Algerians. Okay. Now, so the few Europeans were also there. Now, a few Europeans also lived in Algeria. So we have seen those who were living there. In 1830, the population of Algeria was estimated at 3 million people there. The Berbers in Algeria constituted about half of the total population. So the Berbers were many there. Algiers alone had a population of about 50,000. Both local and international trade in the Maghreb. So there were articles of trade. Now these were textiles, leather products, wooden and piracy. Those who were seizing ships on the oceans. And then they will attack them and they will take all their things. So that is piracy. So Algeria were poor and they suffered from a peculiar famine and epidemic of plague. Now, having seen the social structure or social order or the people who were there, the population and so on and so forth, and the background to Franco-Algerian relations, let us look at background to the French invasion. So why did the French invade Algeria? The background. Okay. So the relation between France and Algeria until 1830 was friendly. So until 1830, the relation between the two countries, France and Algeria, as I've said, it was very cordial. There was trade link between the two. Yeah. Then in the 18th century, France and Algeria made profitable trade relations. So then what actually later caused or deteriorated the relations? Let's see factors or causes of the invasion. In the course of the Napoleonic Wars, during the time that Napoleon, I think we have heard a lot about Napoleon and when he was defeated at the Battle of Waterloo. I know you, especially those of you who are reading history, read more. We've not taught you much in European history because you are doing BEdAS, and I think we need to give you the content area that will suit you teaching at the senior high schools. And so we have not walked you so much into the European and of course even the US history. But that is it. I know those of you who will continue to do your masters in history afterwards, maybe you would be well grounded in the area. Okay. So now there were Napoleonic wars in Europe. Okay. So Algeria, during this period, Algeria became one of the major sources of supply of provisions for the maintenance of French troops in Egypt and Italy. You know that a soldier does not march in an empty stomach, so they needed to eat. And during this time, Algeria took advantage and supplied provisions. Yeah, to the French army or troops in Egypt and Italy. So the trade between France and Algeria was actually significant to the extent that after the fall of Napoleon, even when Napoleon left the scene or when he was defeated, the French king engaged Algeria with a new commercial treaty. Trouble started in 1830 due to a financial transactions. And this was what started to mar the relations between Algeria and France. And this involved two wealthy Jews and a number of Frenchmen with the Algerian authority. So by the close of the 18th century, two Jews made an attempt to monopolize the Algerian export trade. They became involved in the financial transaction of these men and incurred huge debts. Now the Dane was known as Hussein Dey. Take note. Hussein Dey saw that he had been badly cheated by these Jews, and the Jews were Bushnak and Bakri. Take note. Cheated Jewish. No. Now Hussein Dey saw that he had been badly cheated by these Jews, money lenders, these Jewish money lenders, and he refused to pay them. So the Jews, because they have refused to pay him, the Jews sought the assistance of the French administration for help. Now the French government established a commission to go into the whole issue to see whether it was the case. So this led to a reduction of the debts of the day from 24 million francs to 7 million francs. The commission reduced it drastically. You know that as for whites and blacks, if you are going to look at why one doesn't like the other, I don't know. Time will be too long, but be that as it may, the commission reduced it from 24 million that they were owing the Dey, Hussein Dey of Algeria, to just 7 million francs. So if you were the Dey, would this sit well with you? And that is what will actually happen. Now, there was a general feeling in France that the administration was a stumbling block to the profitable development of French trade in Algeria. And so in 1819, Pierre Devar was appointed as a French consul in Algeria. Devar conspired with the Jewish financiers to cheat Algerians. Now, during the era of the French Directorate, that is 1795 to 1990, the Jews, as I've already said, Bushnak and Bakri, they supplied the French army with Algerian wheat. By 1798, the arrears in the payment of the wheat amounted to, say, 8 million. They associated the monies owed them to the debt, the Algerian government, to the debt that the Algerian government was owing them, that they could only pay their debt to the Algerians when they were reimbursed by the French government. So Hussein Dey suspected that the French government intentionally wanted to cheat the country, as Pierre Devar did not make any effort to address the problem diplomatically. And so Hussein Dey realized that since 1824, Devar had collaborated with Bakri to the detriment of Algerian interests, and there were no efforts made to settle the debt. And so the Dey reported Devar to the French authorities on several occasions and asked for his removal, that he should be removed. However, nothing was done about the issue. And so the refusal of the French authority to remove Devar as consul annoyed Hussein Dey. And so in April 1827, during a meeting with the French consul, Hussein Dey hit Devar, that is Pierre Devar, with his fly swatter, or we say fly whisk. He hit him with this. This insignificant issue led to the French invasion of Algeria. This fly whisk or fly swatter incident, he hitting him actually triggered a whole invasion. Why? Let us see why this issue should trigger a whole invasion between the French and the Algerians, or France and Algeria. Now, the French monarch, whose popularity had waned at this time, the French monarch had become unpopular, felt that a military success was required to restore the prestige of his regime. Now, he had become very unpopular in Europe and felt that, after all, this one, if he was able to defeat them, then, of course, It will be a kind of prestige. So King Charles X used the Fry-Whisk issue as an affront to attack Algeria in order that he'll be able to restore his prestige in Europe. And so the French press and the National Assembly spoke against the Algerian adventure, that it was irrelevant. In spite of the foregoing, even businessmen in France supported it due to financial gains. Being businessmen, they wanted the invasion to to go on because they knew they would get financial gains. It would increase trade with Algeria. So some French citizens also had a vision of turning North Africa into a great French empire. And so in June 12, 1830, 34,000 French soldiers landed 27 kilometers west of Algiers at Sidi Farouk. Now the Dey sent 7,000 Janissaries, 19,000 troops from the base of Constantine and Oran, and about 17,000 cadets. Through the use of superior artillery and better organization, Algiers was captured after a 3-week campaign. Hussein Dey fled into exile. French troops raped, they looted, desecrated mosques, and destroyed cemeteries in Algeria. In the course of the war, Charles X was deposed. While the war was ongoing, Charles X was deposed in France, and his cousin, Louis Philippe, named to preside over as constitutional monarchy. And so the new government, that is Louis Philippe, was reluctant to pursue the conquest ordered by the old regime. So a parliamentary commission that examined the Algerian situation concluded that the occupation should continue for the sake of national prestige. In 1834, France annexed the occupied areas, which had an estimated Muslim population of about 3 million as a colony. Now the French, who were Protestants, were seen as infidels by the large Muslim population. And so no matter how much the Algerians disliked the Turkish rule, they were united by the Islamic faith. They felt that they were also fellow Muslims. Now, the French, who were Christians, you know that things wouldn't go well with them. So the French, being Christians, were seen as infidels and traditional enemies of the people of the Maghreb, of the Muslims. And so the Algerians did not accept the promises of social and economic improvement made by the French to them. They only saw the French as hated unbelievers who had come to occupy their land. I think that's the end of my lecture on Algeria. So I think I will end here. If anyone, the questions that you have, then I respond to them. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Let me attend to your question.
Thank you, Dot. My name is Peter Redu. My question is, why is it that Christian religion did not have roots in the north of North Africa before Islam, but had maintained their religion till now? Then the second question.
Come again with your question.
Why is it that?
Come again with your first question.
The first question is, why is it that Christian religion did not have roots in the North
Christianity.
Africa?
You're talking about Christianity.
Yes.
Did not have roots in North Africa.
Yes, but Islam is being maintained till today at the North Africa countries.
So should I answer this question?
Yes, sir.
You want me to answer this question?
Yes, sir.
Why should I answer this question? Master, why should I answer this question? Because I've already answered it. And I said that the Maghreb, you know that because we are talking about the Maghreb, and I was telling you that the Berbers were the last 10 inhabitants of the area that became known as the Maghreb. And the Maghreb, we're talking about the states of, say, Libya, Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia. Egypt was not even part of the Maghreb. Okay, good. Now I said that this place was exposed to outsiders because of, I think I walked you through the geography of the Maghreb. I don't want to go back and just be repeating myself unnecessarily. But I did remember saying that the place they became exposed. And don't forget that I said that the Berbers were also uncivilized. And so several people like the Carthaginians or the Phoenicians, the Greeks, the Romans, the Vandals, the Arabs, Ottomans, all of them actually had contacts or relations with them, and they influenced them in one way or the other. And I remember taking you through the Greeks and the Romans, and I will say that the Romans introduced a kind of Christianity there and so forth. But when Rome became weak, and when they were invaded, Rome became weak. The Arabs took advantage of the situation and invaded them. Invaded the North Africa. They became successful and imposed their hegemony on them. Now Christianity was no more because the Romans wanted to Romanize the Berber culture and all that. The Arabs had been able to defeat them following the invasion of the area, because at this time Rome, Rome had become weak, and so they took advantage of the situation to invade North Africa, and they became successful, and they imposed their culture. And I remember very well taking you through Islamization and Arabization, Islamic culture, everything spread. And I said that is how come today North Africa or the Maghreb is a dominant Islamic religion, and Sharia law and everything is there, because these people had profound impact. The Arabs had profound impact on North Africa. So Christianity was on a smaller scale, being introduced by the Romans, and following the barbarian invasion of the Romans of Western Europe. I know that the Roman Empire became weak, and the Arab took advantage and invaded North Africa. They became successful and then imposed their culture, everything. And the Arab, their culture was Islam, so their religion and all that. Okay, and that was why I even said that. And I remember also saying that even when Muhammad died, Prophet Muhammad died, and Abu Bakr took over, it was his vision to also spread Islam across the entire globe. And he started from North Africa. So his conquest of the area and nothing, and that was what should also guide you. I don't think I go back and say so. Now North Africa is a dominant Islamic state. I think my focus is on the Maghreb and not the entire North Africa.
Okay. Yes, sir. This Vincent. This is an interesting one because outside, especially Christianity, there is a perception that North African countries were Christians, were purely Christians before Arabs and the Islams came slowly to defeat Christianity. So what you are saying?
No, they were not Christians. They were not Christians. The Berbers were nature worshippers. Wow. That's why I took you through the Berbers. If you look at the first lecture, I'll go through the slides again if you have forgotten. Otherwise, I wouldn't be asking this question, because we said that the Berbers were nature worshippers. They were worshiping natural objects, stones, rocks, rivers, and streams, and all that. And I even said that they were even sacrificing their firstborn. Some section of the Berbers were sacrificing their firstborns to win the favor of the gods, and we were saying that they were barbaric. And even look at why the name Berber, why the Greeks gave them, those who spoke neither the Greek nor the Latin language. They felt that they felt that they were savage, because looking at the fact that they were sacrificing human beings to the god. And so the things that they were doing, they were prostrating and kowtowing before rivers, plants, trees, and images that could not talk. So the people felt that so that's why. So even the name barbarian has its origin from some of these issues. Okay. Wow. So and it was later that the Greeks influenced them, and then the Romans influenced. When the Romans came, they also Romanized the things there. They introduced they Romanized some of the things and their gods. And so they were in the process of actually Christianizing them when Rome itself was invaded. And then Rome became weak, and the Arabs took advantage of the weaknesses of Rome and invaded North Africa, the Berbers. And they succeeded and imposed their hegemony on them. and into and Arabize and Islamize the place. That's it.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
You were talking about Jews. How influenced were Jews in North Africa? Because if they do not have much influence, how could they amass so much money in such a way that they were even borrowing money to other people like French and those other people?
No, they were traders. And they took
oh.
advantage. They were merchants. Once they merchants, they were traders. Like even here we have Nigerians who are trading here, and you can even see that in Ghana here you have Nigerians are having some. We're going to go to some. Yeah, Nigerians are having some industries and other things like foreign nationals who are in the country. So they were in Algeria, and they were actually supplying what do you call it, wheat. They were actually dealing with wheat. And during the time of the Napoleonic Wars, they saw that business to be so beneficial because, of course, they were the troops, the soldiers. They needed them to be. And as I said, the soldier couldn't march on an empty or in an empty stomach, and so they needed to eat. And they took advantage of USA becoming superpowers or becoming powerful, because during the war, US took advantage and supplied the belligerent states. None of the two were fighting, so they were fighting and they did not have time to produce. And so US, the US was actually selling to all these people, and that's made US become powerful. And that's why after World War II, after that is in 1945, we had two para powers. We had the USA and the USSR, led by Russia. And
yes.
And so until the 1990s, that USSR disintegrated, giving way to the USA. And as at now, USA is the world superpower. So that's the idea. So the Jews were there, the Jewish merchants were there, and they were trading, and they took advantage of the Napoleonic Wars and supplied the troops. Okay, supplied the troops, the French troops, and so the French government, and that is how come they were. I don't want to actually say more because I've
interesting. Thank you, sir.
Voted on that.
But we have read in the Bible about the Jewish settlement in Egypt, but we've not heard more about them. Thank you.
That is not part of your course. It's not part of this course, please. It's not part of that course. The only thing that we are supposed to know about Egypt was the French invasion of Egypt, and it's what really impacts.
Hello, Doc.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Because the Jews in Egypt, that era is not part of this. What we are doing, we are not looking at Christian religious studies, and actually, we are not looking at the history of the Hebrews in Egypt. No. That's not the phase we are looking at.
All right. Thank you, Doc. Thank you, Doc.
Yeah.
Doc, please, as we are heading towards our quiz, please, which unit and which unit should we embark on ahead of the first quiz, please? Yeah.
Okay. As a friend and brother and everything to you, I would say that I cover everything. The reason why I'm saying cover everything is that when you write the quiz, the following week you're writing the end of semester exams, and the end of semester exams will cover everything. So if I say that cover up to first 2 slides or 3 slides and leave the others, or the first 2 topics or 3 topics and leave the others, the following week we are going to write the end of semester. That is going to cover all of them. So as my friend and my student and my brother and whatever, I will say please cover all. These slides are not many. You can cover all of them, so that if you write the quiz and the following week you also face the exams, things will be very, very. This course, history course, students have been getting AB plus, and I think the first batch of the research course program that you are doing, the overall best had 4.0, and it's history. All the history course had A, all of them A. And those who had 3.8, 3.0 they were history people, and they received the awards. So this course is not because they were making A in history. Yeah. And courses that should scare you.
Hello, Doc.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Doc. My name is Frank Donko. I'm calling from Takrady. Doc, I want to know the number of slides that we have put across.
The number of slides.
That is that we have put across because some we have some of them, but not all. So I will find out the rest. I'll look for
I
the
can't,
rest.
I can't just have, I can't give you the exact because I know, so the lectures that, sometimes we combine some of the topics. So, but you should not get less than 5 or 6 slides. Some of them are combined, topics are combined. You didn't get less than 6 slides. I don't know whether I
Okay,
gave you the,
okay,
did I
Doc.
give you,
Doc,
did I
please.
give you the Alawite?
No, please,
Yeah.
Doc. I want to come in with Ottoman. You gave us only the origins of Ottoman, and the last topic in that slide is Ottoman's expansion to North Africa. And with that of colonial Ghana, you gave us up to economic development in Gold Coast, 1900 to 1957. These are the slides we have. I think last week I prompted you of the slides, but you've not posted it yet. So I'm looking up to you to post them today since we are ending the courses today.
Yeah,
Thank
but
you.
for colonial Ghana, we'll meet on, I don't know whether Tuesday. Yeah. Because this time 1:30, the people who were behind, a certain group I was supposed to teach, I didn't know, they didn't also tell me. It was only last week that they drew my attention that they are about writing exams and I haven't taught them. Who, I don't know you. And they drew my attention that I'm supposed to teach them, but they didn't put my telephone number there for the student to be able to call me to draw my attention. And me too, they didn't send it to me, so I didn't know. And so their time was 1:30. So today 1:30. I have to meet those people. Some of them are weeping, crying. I don't want them to cry, so I have to meet them. And
So Doc,
Doc,
what are
I
the
believe today we are going to have the remaining slides.
so the remaining
For
slide, I think
Ottoman,
the Ottoman, I don't know whether. So do you have the slides on the Sardian dynasty and the Alawite?
no, we have only the origin of Ottoman. That is the only one you posted. The origins of Ottoman. That's like.
Yeah, I've already given you some of the slides, the earlier ones, the Berber, the Maghreb and geography of the Maghreb, and I've given all that to you.
Sir,
Yes,
please.
please.
I've seen something Ottoman model, first combined draft. I hope it's also part of it.
No, please, Doc didn't give that. You had it somewhere, not from Doc's platform, please.
Okay.
That is, I'm talking about my lecture slides. I started the land and people of North Africa.
Ottoman.
The land and people of North Africa. I gave you that slides. And when I was talking about the economy, that is of North Africa, I've given you that one too. And then I went ahead to give you the Ottoman text and then the Osman text. Okay. So I think is the Sardian dynasty in Morocco and the Alawite dynasty in Morocco that I didn't give you. And so I have to also add the French invasion of Egypt and Algeria to it. So this is what I think I have to forward to you so that I get complete slides of all the things that I've taught you.
But we'll still plead for areas to cover the exam because our workload for other subjects is too much. Thank you.
So, hello, sir. Doug, so some of us who are doing the colonial Ghana, so when are we having the lectures?
Please let me kind of communicate. It could be that if you get time today, I think you are on the standby. If there's time, then I may think that we'll finish it up. But if there's no time, then we'll push it to the weekday, one of the weekdays, no problem at all.
Okay. Doug,
So,
another one, the last semester, we wrote the exam. It seems the result, I think, especially the core historical knowledge from my own, when I went to my portal, I realized that the inactive has been removed, but there is nothing about the grade there. So I called the office, and the lady who picked the call was saying maybe they are now doing it. But normally when they remove the inactive, the grade comes. But my
have you found from your other colleagues, whether it has appeared on their
It's the same everywhere. I also have the same thing. So
Okay, Doc. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so Ima, do you have a question to ask?
Yes, that's what I ask. I don't have any question.
Okay. Then I think on that note, I wish you all the like somebody was talking about areas. I don't think I can give you areas now. I've not said that. If I give you areas, I may forget. So no matter what I do is that after setting my questions, then I can give out areas. Because if I have not set my questions, I say, oh, go and look at this. I may forget that I've asked you to go and look at this. And
yes, sir.
when
Yes, sir.
I will set different things. And
yes, sir.
I don't want.
Thank you, Doc.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, Doc, please, on this note, on behalf of the whole group, we would like to thank you so much for your time, your knowledge, and the patience you have for us. God richly bless you.
Okay, bless you too. Learn so that I can do well.
God bless
Doc,
you.
please,
Okay, thank you.
Doc, please, I have a question.
Oh.
Okay.
Doc, please, my results on World Civilization has not been released. So I told Auntie Anita, and she asked me to call the center. I did, but they told me it will come. Up till now, I have not seen it there.
Where's civilization? Have you seen that
Yes.
of other people too? Have they seen their results?
Yes. Other people, their owner, the first course that we did.
And yours?
Mine is not there.
Because this one is done at the center. So we mark and give everything to them and they key in. We don't do the key in. Those that we teach at the university, we do our own key in. But the code people, we mark and give them. They bring the script to us. We mark and then give it back to them for them to do their entering or key in. So if I am the one who did the key in, I've checked the system to tell you, but they did the key in. So I will not be. So they are supposed to check and see. Anyway, so anytime when I pass there, I will tell them that they should check 110. Some people are saying that as of now the results, and they have not received their results yet. So maybe they will do something about it.
Okay,
So,
thank you
Doc,
very
please,
much.
finally, I would like to ask, when are we meeting for the colonial Ghana?
Are you the only stranger in Jerusalem?
Oh, maybe I didn't hear you respond to that.
Okay, so your mess will tell you. Your mess will tell you. Okay.
But me call a coffee room.
Okay, I wish you all the best and enjoy the rest of the day. Bye bye.
Thank you. Please, what did Doc say about the colonial Ghana time? Please, what did he say about it?
Are you the only foreigner in Jerusalem?
Yes, maybe I didn't hear him, so please help me out.
One of the days in the week, you meet her.
He said he will make time in the course of the week to meet you guys.
And so he wasn't exact, eh?
Yes, please. So I think
I
said Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
Please,
Auntie Anita.
please,
Yes,
in
please.
case
Please, so
Doc
the
is
way
able
the
to send
slides
us the
are,
slides,
please, this one, I would
let's make
suggest
it open.
that you post
Please.
all of them again so that we can check those that we have and those that we do not have, please.
Thank you very much.
Let's allow him to push the rest and we will see.
Yes, I'm talking about when you receive all.
No, he will not push it to me. Oh. He normally posts it on the platform himself. So it will not be posted to me.
Okay.
He posts it on the platform himself.
Okay.
And then
Okay. Okay.
So you don't have,
Then
I
I
don't
will
also
check.
have.
Thank you.
And then the
You can
colonial
send
Ghana.
me hi.
Okay, you're welcome.
The slide.
You can send me hi. Those that I have, I can send it to you so that you compare with Doc's own.
Okay.
So right now, I
Send
think
me.
we have slide 1 to 3 for colonial Ghana. Am I right? Hello, Madam Anita.
Hello, Sayima.
I'm saying right now we have 1 to 3 for
For what I have, it is up to economic development in Gold Coast. I don't know if that is what you have. The last topic. Okay.
That one is slide 1.
Please, I want you people to post this in the group for us.
Okay, okay.
Please,
So
hello.
the rest, if you can
Hello,
send it,
madam.
then to be
Madam.
it will be okay for us.
Madam,
Yeah.
please, I want you to post this in the group. It seems I have only one. The other day I was requesting it
Which
from,
group are you
I
talking
am referring
about?
to
Which group?
Dr. Boachi's group.
You,
Since I have
did
one
you
of them.
join recently?
No,
You only have one of them.
Yes.
Okay.
So that should tell you the extent of how I have learned it.
Hello, please. Hello, please, madam. Those who are doing history, I know you, the lecture, you always play close to you, so you have a lot of, what do you call it, the slide. But we, those who are doing the social studies, me, I check, I have only the true slide. So please, I'm kindly push those things, the colonial, this into our one. You can push it to the.
No, do you the social studies people? You are not doing colonial Ghana. You are
Okay.
doing only Ottoman.
So in exams, always they will say question based on only the Ottoman.
You are offering Ottoman as a course. You don't have colonial on your portal.
That
So
is
you're
why
not
I'm
going
asking
to.
you. That's why I'm asking you that. So in hours, they will set question based only the Ottoman.
I don't get you.
Hello.
Ottoman is a course on its
Ottoman,
own.
Ottoman is a
Ottoman is
course
a
of
course
its own.
on its own, and colonial
And then,
Ghana is also a course
it's
on its
also
own.
on its own. So will be, if it is for Ottoman, it is for Ottoman. If it is for Corona, it's for Corona. They are two different courses.
So that's why I'm asking you that those who are doing the social studies, are we to do both the Ottoman and then the colonial, or we are doing only the?
No, please, Mr. Frank, no.
Please,
Me, I have
please,
only the Ottoman.
Sir Frank.
Okay.
So we are doing
Sir
only
Frank, do you have colonial in your
social.
portal?
No.
Let's ask him. Maybe he has colonial in his portal. Have you checked to see if you have colonial in your portal?
No, honey.
So since you are not having it in your portal, you don't have any problem with that.
Okay. Thank you.
Please, did he mention the areas you have to study for the first quiz?
It says we should learn everything.
Now, what I believe that maybe getting to the later part, you give us some areas.
It says he will give us, if anything, it will be after he has finished setting his perspective.
After setting the
And
question.
you know that's what normally
is.
Yeah. He may forget
And
that he has told us this or
normally
that.
that even comes sometimes 2 days to the time of examination. So please learn. Learn. Don't wait till the areas come, because it will come probably 2 days to the exams. So please learn everything as he said. Don't wait till he gives the area.
Okay.
But I made a try because sad time no meeting there baby.
Ayo.
A
word to the wise. A word to the wise. It's in the eastern region.
Individual differences.
A word to the wise is in the eastern region. It's no more in the north.
Last minute piled up learning. Anyway.
Okay, bye-bye.
Awesome. The Lamla people, last minute learners. Pages. Pages. Sebastian.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Class no. Please, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Lectures no. I'm up on one.
Nti na ya join by a say from the na nkɔfɔ joining nti nim say apɔn ana say you studying to no nhyɛ
Because my black pants na my join
the
just still me
professor
too Bianca.
the professor
Hello.
the professor ɔno wa muting ne ho o sɛ prosper
Yes, hello.
pacho good afternoon
Good afternoon.
the back class no ɛbasa na yɛtwɛn lecture no
Omapo.
okay.
Is it not Ottoman, North Africa?
Yes, please.
Oh, Yapon,
Sɛ
Yapon.
ebi da so gyina so nti na
Oh, Yapon.
ebi da so gyina so ɛna ɔmo gyina so na ɔmo nim sɛ apɔn o.
Hey, yes, tattoo that's 11:50. And
Eh,
Yapon say one.
ɔmo gyina so no ɔmo gyina so na ɔmo nso ɔmo nim sɛ apɔn. Okura
Yes,
se na ogyina so o.
master. Wait, yeah, bye bye.
Okura na ogyina so.
Me,
Yɛ okay.